It's 214 BC. You are a Roman soldier, crammed onto a creaking trireme, the salt spray stinging your eyes as the oars churn through the Ionian Sea. Syracuse looms on the horizon, its golden walls mocking the might of the Republic. Your general, Marcus Claudius Marcellus, has vowed to crack this Greek jewel like an oyster, to avenge Rome's humiliations against Hannibal. Victory means glory, spoils, a triumph parade through the Forum. But as your fleet closes in under a merciless Mediterranean sun, dread coils in your gut. No arrows whistle from the battlements. No stones rain from catapults. Yet suddenly the sail beside you erupts in flames. Wood crackles, ropes snap, men scream as fire leaps from nowhere, devouring hulls hundreds of feet away. The sea boils with panic, ships veering wildly as invisible fury rains down. This isn't siegecraft, this is sorcery. The city itself is alive, wielding the sun as a blade, and at its heart beats the mind of one man, Archimedes, the mathematician who turned light into death. Could a single genius have forged a weapon to humble an empire? Or was it myth, born of terror? This is the legend of the death ray, a beam of brilliance that nearly rewrote the map of the ancient world, and the catastrophe that snuffed it out forever. The stage is set in the furnace of the Second Punic War, that cataclysmic clash where Rome and Carthage clawed for Mediterranean supremacy. Hannibal's elephants have ravaged Italy, his armies dancing just beyond the gates of the Eternal City, leaving senators sleepless and legions bloodied. Desperate, Rome turns east to strangle Carthage's lifeline, the prosperous Greek colony of Syracuse on Sicily, the sun-baked coast. Ruled by the young king, Hieros VI, Syracuse is a glittering prize, its harbors teeming with grain ships, its academies buzzing with philosophers, its forges birthing wonders of bronze and iron. But Hieros' death in 215 BC plunges the city into turmoil. Factions splinter, some pledge loyalty to Rome, their old ally. Others whisper allegiance to Carthage, tempted by promises of gold and autonomy. Marcellus, Rome's iron-fisted consul, smells weakness. He sails with 60 quinqueremes, massive warships rowed by hundreds, flanked by transports heavy with siege towers and ballistae. His orders are clear: starve Syracuse into submission, breach its triple walls, claim its riches to fund the war against the Barca scourge. The stakes tower like the city's cliffs. For Rome, failure means Hannibal unchecked, the Republic's spine broken. For Syracuse, surrender spells enslavement, its libraries looted, its people scattered to gladiatorial sands. And in the eye of this storm stands Archimedes, Hieros' kinsman, Syracuse's secret weapon, a 72-year-old savant whose bath-time epiphany of buoyancy has already revolutionized engineering. No longer content with levers and pulleys, he unleashes his full arsenal. Cranes that hoist ships from the water like toys. Catapults firing bolts the size of spears. But as Roman rams batter the seawall, Archimedes dreams bigger, harnessing the gods' own fire. In hidden workshops, amid the clamor of hammers and the acrid tang of polish, he crafts not just defenses, but a deterrent so audacious it borders on hubris, a ray of sunlight turned assassin. One man's intellect against an empire's fury. Win and Syracuse endures as a beacon of Greek defiance. Lose and the light of reason flickers out. Peel back the legend, and the death ray reveals itself as a masterpiece of optical sorcery, grounded in the unyielding laws of geometry and light. Imagine not one mirror, but an orchestra of them. Hundreds of polished bronze shields, each a shallow parabola curved like a beggar's bowl, arrayed along Syracuse's ramparts in a vast, shimmering phalanx. Archimedes, the Prince of Pi, understood reflection as intimately as he did volume. Sunlight, that diffuse tyrant baking the earth at 100 degrees Fahrenheit, scatters wildly until bent to his will. Each mirror catches the rays parallel to its curve, funneling them into a searing lance of energy, converging on a single point up to 200 yards distant. At that nexus, temperatures spike to 600 degrees or more, hot enough to smolder tarred ropes, char dry timber, ignite pitch-soaked sails. It's no crude bonfire. It's concentrated fury. The sun's 93 million miles of journey weaponized in seconds. Archimedes' genius lay in the scale and coordination. Slaves or soldiers swiveling mirrors in unison, tracking the sun's arc like a slow-moving catapult, adjusting for the fleet's drift. One misaligned reflector, and the beam diffuses harmlessly. Perfectly tuned, it births spontaneous combustion, flames blooming on distant decks without a spark from man or god. Modern minds have chased this phantom. In 1973, a Greek engineer arrayed 50 mirrors and scorched a wooden model from afar. Then came the Mythbusters, those intrepid debunkers, who in 2005 deployed 5 massive mirrors on a San Francisco pier, only to fizzle against a full-scale boat. Undeterred, they scaled up. 127 precision facets, gleaming under California's sun, piercing a mock trirem's hull after 10 blistering minutes, flames self-sustaining as pitch boiled and wood split. Even a 13-year-old prodigy in 2024 proved the principle with a tabletop rig of concave mirrors and heat lamps, spiking temperatures 40 degrees per edition, validating the math that Archimedes etched in sand. But here's the thrill. It wasn't mere heat, it was psychological terror. Roman sailors, blinded by glare, watch comrades' vessels erupt in ethereal fire, ghost flames from a clear sky. Panic spreads faster than the blaze. Oars falter, formations shatter. Archimedes didn't just burn ships, he burned morale, turning the sun, Helios, the unblinking eye of the gods, into Syracuse's avenging ally. In a world of iron and blood, this was elegance incarnate, silent, clean, inexhaustible, a weapon that whispered of futures where light outshines steel, but legends fracture like glass under siege. For 2 grueling years, Archimedes' machines hold the line, claws yanking quinqueremes skyward, boulders pulverizing rams, the death ray, if it blazed, forcing the fleet to cower at anchor. Marcellus, that relentless tactician, adapts. He blockades the harbor, starves the populace, waits for winter's grip to weaken resolve. Famine gnaws at Syracuse, whispers of betrayal slither through the streets. Then betrayal strikes, not from within, but from the gods. A traitor opens a postern gate under cover of storm, and Roman torches flood the night. The legions pour in like a tide of bronze, swords thirsty for the plunder denied at sea. Chaos reigns, temples topple, villas blaze, the screams of the fallen a dirge for Greek pride. Amid the rout, Archimedes kneels in his garden, oblivious, tracing circles in the dust with a stick, lost in a proof of spheres and cylinders, his final defiance against infinity. A young Roman soldier, perhaps mistaking him for a hoarding noble, demands his treasures. Archimedes, eyes alight with equations, snaps, "Stand away from my diagram." Enraged, the blade falls, piercing the throat of antiquity's greatest mind. Marcellus, hearing the news, weeps like a father for a slain son, ordering a hero's funeral amid the rubble. But the true cataclysm is subtler, more insidious. Archimedes' scrolls, if they chronicled the res arcana, vanish in the sack, torn for kindling, trampled under hobnailed boots, or spirited away to Roman vaults where Greek subtleties gather dust. No apprentices survive the purge. The craft, oral and empirical, dies unspoken. Syracuse crumbles, its academies silenced, its harbors choked with wrecks. The rays secret, parabolas calibrated to solar zenith, bronze burnished to specular sheen, fades into ballad and doubt, a whisper in Plutarch's pages centuries hence. The consequences ripple like aftershocks. Rome triumphs, Carthage falls, but at what cost? A shortcut to optics lost, delaying lenses and telescopes by generations. Warfare reverts to brute thunder, flaming arrows, Greek fire, while solar might slumbers. Archimedes' death isn't mere tragedy, it's apocalypse for innovation, the empire's victory, a pyre for human fire. From those ashes, embers glow through the ages, reigniting in the Renaissance's dawn. The legend endures in Byzantine texts, fueling whispers of wonder weapons. but the science lies dormant until light benders like Alhazen in 11th century Baghdad dissect refraction in honeycombs of glass. Then in 15th century Florence, Leonardo da Vinci, Archimedes' spiritual heir, sketches colossal mirrors in his codices. Dreaming of solar forges to melt cannon from ore, his notebooks echoing the Syracusan's fury. Experimenters in Italian courts polish lenses to boil water, probe the sun's secrets, birthing the optical revolution that births microscopes and burning glasses. Yet full revival waits. Only in our era do engineers at MIT and beyond resurrect the ray, their arrays proving Archimedes' math unerring. Today, concentrated solar power plants in deserts, mirrors miles wide generating gigawatts, echo his vision, turning sunlight to steam for cities. But ponder the fork in time's road. What if the ray had endured? Coastal fortresses beaming fleets to ash, no need for gunpowder's roar. Navies obsolete, trade unchallenged, wars won by weather alone. Empires might have crumbled under light's impartial gaze, birthing an age of peaceful radiance, or tyrannies of unquenchable fire. Archimedes didn't just defend a city, he glimpsed a world where intellect eclipses force, a blueprint for harnessing stars themselves. His loss reminds us, genius is fragile, but its sparks can illuminate epochs. If Archimedes' defiant brilliance has ignited something in you, a hunger for the hidden levers of history, then step into our circle of seekers. Like this video to fan the flames of discovery and subscribe to Lost Blueprints for your weekly forge of forgotten wonders. In the comments, share your boldest what if. Could the death ray have stopped Rome's rise? Or name the next lost marvel we should illuminate. Your voice shapes our quest. Next week we venture to Han Dynasty China, where a bronze dragon whispers of quakes from afar. Join us and let's defy the darkness together.